That's where we come in. I'm your host, Andrew Hawkins. This is analytic analyst Cynthia Freeland and Greg Rosenthal of the Around the NFL podcast. Party people, how are you feeling today?
I mean,
I'm feeling good.
I like that coat.
Ooh.
Every time he wears it, it's my favorite.
I'm just trying to keep up, please.
Anytime you have NFL 100 drip, I think we know that the show is going in the right place.
How about Patrick Mahomes with that haircut? You got to be talented to pull off a haircut.
He's not
like
limping
that,
either.
You know what I mean?
He's not limping either. That was my biggest takeaway. He did not appear to be limping.
Not limping, dope haircut. Two of the
Huge
formulas for
observations.
success. Yes. All right, so we got to Chicago. We have breaking news. Matt Stafford is not playing. He is out with a back injury. Jeff Driscoll will start in his place against the Chicago Bears. This is a big one. Driscoll, super athletic. For more on that, we'll head on the field with our Stacey Dales.
Remarkably, Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford, who happens to lead the NFL with about 312 pass yards per game, will be inactive. This will be the first game that he has missed since Week 17 of the 2010 season. Jeff Driscoll, the backup quarterback, will make just the sixth start of his career. He was originally drafted out of Louisiana Tech in 2016 to the 49ers, but spent all 3 seasons previous to now with the Bengals. 1-4 last season as their starter, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks. And basically, the Lions picked him up September the 17th. They released the veteran Josh Johnson. They thought he was athletic, big arm, strong arm, and good size at about 6'4", 230 pounds. And certainly they felt like in taking a look at his past, he could fit some of what Darrell Bevell wants to do with this offense, but we'll see how it plays out against a top 10 Bears defense in Chicago today. Back to you guys.
All right, so huge news out in Chicago. No Matt Stafford versus the Chicago Bears. Cynthia, we'll start with you. How does that affect the outcome?
Well, you remember on Thursday, I had the Lions winning this game.
Yeah.
It completely shifted the winner. So now I have a completely different winner. Spoiler alert here.
Right.
But ultimately, one of the main driving forces with the Lions was Matthew Stafford's efficiency. He's having a really, really good season, underrated, maybe the most underrated quarterback in the league. Without him, and also their injury report is a mile long. So even if people are playing or not playing, whatever, there is a lot of people who are banged up on this one. So I just, yuck.
Yeah.
It's tough to get more different than Matthew Stafford than Jeff Driscoll. That's the problem. Is the one thing the Lions did was throw the ball deep. I'm like a lot of people, I didn't really know what Jeff Driscoll looked like, but I have watched him start games in the NFL, and he's really athletic. He was so athletic, they tried him at wide receiver in Cincinnati and special teams. He can run. When he was in San Francisco, I mean, he looked like a Kyle Shanahan running back. He reminds me a little bit of a poor man's Colin Kaepernick, but that is the most opposite in terms of a skill set as you can get for Matthew Stafford. But maybe Darrell Bevell thinks he's got some tricks up his sleeve. I don't know.
I do like Darrell Bevell in this situation. I do, and I think their run game, you can run on the Bears. So Ty Johnson, you can run on the Bears. We've seen it. Ever since they lost Akeem Hicks, he's on IR. That is a big problem. It's an area they've been allowing a ton of rushing yards. So I think Darrell Bevell will have some tricks.
So what do we expect out of the Bears offense in this game going against the Detroit Lions?
What do you expect out of them?
That's a good question.
I mean, you're a receiver.
Not much, to be honest.
Right.
I mean, Mitch Trubisky hasn't played great. I think their problem is they are not risking it early. Last week they got down. They got down early, and then that they had to open it up, and the offense started to go. If they can take risk earlier in the game and Mitch gets comfortable within himself in the offense, I think they could do some things.
The Lions are the ultimate, bend but don't break, although they've been breaking a lot too, type of defense.
Like 4 times.
They don't blitz a lot. They try to keep the plays in front of them. You would think that would help Mitchell Trubisky get a little bit of confidence where they can move the ball up and down the field, because there's not going to be a lot of crazy pass rush or blitzes coming at him. If Mitch can't get right this week, he's not getting right.
Let me ask you a question really quick before we make our picks. You're a receiver. We've seen all the Marvin Jones Jr. You know him well, right? It's later in the week. You now don't have Matthew Stafford, the quarterback that you have a ton of chemistry with, and you've been connecting on deep passes. You're going to this game. It's probably, it's in Soldier Field. That's it's hostile territory for Bears, or for the Bears versus the Lions. What are you thinking in this one?
I think for a receiver, you go into games not only thinking about your own production and how it contributes to the win column, but for this, when you have a quarterback that you know is one of the best in the league and he is out, your focus shifts. Like now it's like, hey, I have to make special plays. I don't know when my plays are going to come. I may not go for 100 yards, but when my number is called, I have to do what I have to do to elevate my team to a win. So it's less about yourself and more about just, hey, we got to rally around this guy, understanding he's young. This is a tough situation, and this is what we're here for. So,
I mean, the whole team has to. The defense, show up a little bit. We thought this defense might be a little spicy in September, and it's one of the worst in the league in October.
There you go. All right, so let's get to some picks now. The Bears are favored by 7 in this one.
Huge difference from before. It was 3, now it's 7.
So give me what the model says,
Okay,
Cynthia.
so the model says 24-20 in favor of the Bears. Only 4, so 4 is less than 7. The Lions keep it closer, and maybe a higher score than you think.
All right, well, I'm actually sticking with the Lions. I picked the Lions pre-Matt Stafford. Here's why. Driscoll, I feel like, is super athletic. I know guys on that Bengals team. They said this guy gets in the gym, he windmill dunks. He runs a 4.440.
I want a windmill dunk.
He's chiseled. Yeah. Like he started football games before.
Can he play? So Tim Tebow is like all of that too.
True, but it's the same Tim Tebow thing.
And he won some games. He won some games that we didn't expect.
The Bears aren't prepared for him, and I feel like they catch him off guard just because he's the benefit of, beginner's luck. What do you got, Greg?
I have the Bears winning by 4. Same spread as Cynthia. If the Lions do win, though, and I think that no win right now is going to be easy for this Bears team because of their offense. If the Lions somehow win on the road, I mean, they're going to have to throw out every TV in the Bears complex. Forget about it. Maybe in every TV in the entire city of Chicago. The Bears are done if they lose to Jeff Driscoll.
All of the remotes.
Cut the radios off. Cut the TVs off. All right, now we go to Nashville, where the Chiefs will take on the Tennessee Titans. Here is a tweet from the mother of Patrick Mahomes, Randy. Just in case anyone's interested, I grounded Patrick from running the ball. You're welcome. # mom stresses. All right, so no rushing yards for Pat Mahomes this week because Mama said so. And what Mama says,
you gotta listen to your mom.
Right?
You have to listen to
Let's get right to the picks here. Kansas City is favored by 3.5, Cynthia. What do you got?
In this one, I have 25-20 in favor of Kansas City. I think it's a look, Patrick Mahomes now has Tyreke Hill healthy, Eric Fisher. That's a big deal. Your tackle? You want a better tackle?
Yeah,
great. Let's do that. I don't think it's going to be rushing yards though. I don't think it's going to be 0 rushing yards, but not like 60 or something crazy.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the Chiefs too. I think Patrick Mahomes. I think the team rallies around him. This team is just too talented. We've seen it with Matt Moore. They have so many playmakers all over the field, and Patrick Mahomes being there, it's just. I can almost guarantee a win by the Kansas City Chiefs.
Right, I'm with you.
Lock it up.
If you're in a survivor pool and you still have the Chiefs, I think this is the week to use it. I think they win by a couple of touchdowns. Chris Jones returning last week really changed their defense, and they don't need to run the ball, but they will not have LaShawn McCoy today. I don't think that hurts them, though. Damian Williams being the primary guy has really made them
You're playing
a little
daily.
better.
You want Damian Williams. You want the good return on
Facts.
investment.
All right, let's check out some notable actives and inactives for today's slate of games. We see Matt Stafford out. Jacoby Brissett also out. Le'Veon Bell is active, as he tweeted that yesterday. Let everyone know he is playing. Frank Clark is active.
That's another good one. Frank Clark back for Kansas City.
Yeah.
Makes Tennessee even stronger, or to pick against Tennessee even stronger.
All right. Well, next on Game Day View, Lamar Jackson arriving in Cincinnati, ready to turn some heads. Look at
Jeff Driscoll's not showing up in that.
All this and more when we get back. This season, the NFL and its players are honoring those who bravely serve our country through Huddle for 100. Fans are encouraged to join NFL players in writing letters expressing gratitude for our service members, veterans, and their families. A letter of thanks can go a long way. Visit NFL.com/salute to learn how you can send your letter today.
I love that salute. I want to go write. I'm going to go write like a bunch more letters. I already wrote 2.
That's awesome. I got to get mine too.
Want to do some proper performances with me?
Yes,
let's do it. Saquon Barkley, yeah, he's going to have more than 105 scrimmage yards today against the Jets.
Love it. Remember when we were saying the Jets defense was sneaky, feisty? Not anymore. They're collapsing like the rest of the team. Giants roll.
They also let Leonard Williams go to the Giants.
Right,
like, what are you thinking? No, it's not going to happen. All right, next one. Tyreke Hill and Travis Kelce, both, not just one, not just the other one, both of them are going to score.
Both of them. I like that too, man.
That's that's
bold.
Good,
that could be in a spicy bold predictions. But I mean, maybe they're putting a 40 burger up in Tennessee, so that makes sense.
A 40 burger, I like it.
I like it. Okay, you ready for the next one? Back to the Chicago game. David Montgomery will have more than 60 rush yards.
Ooh, I like it too. Lions defense is another one of those we talked about, like thought we were really good at the beginning of the season, not so much anymore.
Well, everyone's on the injury report.
Yeah, everyone's hurt.
Everyone's banged up.
David Montgomery don't care.
What do you think?
He looked good a couple weeks ago.
I have over 110 scrimmage yards for him too. Alvin Kamara will have fewer than 82 rush yards. Remember, that's scrimmage, ladies and gentlemen, just rush. Remember, he's coming back from injury. Latavius Murray is now a thing. Want to keep him having some reps. This is just more a factor of 82 is a huge number, as it is not that he's capable of doing it.
Also, he'll do a lot in the pass game, too.
Murray showed
thank you.
out.
Rush. Appreciate you. Uh-oh. I don't like anything anti, but Juju Smith-Schuster will have fewer than 60 receiving yards.
This seems like a home run against a really good Rams defense. It doesn't give up big plays. Jalen Ramsey, Mason Rudolph.
Jalen Ramsey, don't play that.
Yeah, especially without James Conner playing, that's harder.
All right.
Situation.
For more on that one, let's go on the field, starting with Omar Ruiz.
Look at all these Steelers legends here at Heinz Field. Local legend Aaron Donald will play here in his hometown for the first time in his career because of all the financial contributions he's made to this community and the literal sweat equity he's provided. A lot of kids want to grow up wanting to be like Aaron Donald one day. He often invites teenagers to work out with him here in the offseason. A couple of those, Mike Tomlin's teenage sons. As for preparing for Aaron Donald, Tomlin's saying Donald is nobody's no one, meaning there is no player like Donald. It's extremely hard to replicate him in practice, complicating matters for the Steelers offense. They'll be without Donald's buddy, James Conner, for the second game in a row. For now, let's send it over to Cleveland and Kim Jones.
In conversations with Odell Beckham Jr. over the past few days, I found him to be as content as I think I've ever seen him. Yes, he hates losing, desperately wants to win. But he also said this, that the more he lived his life for other people, the more unhappy he was with himself. If you're wondering why the introspection from Beckham now, perhaps it's because last Tuesday was his 27th birthday. He celebrated it with red velvet cake and a new scooter from Jarvis. Now he'd like to add a bunch of wins the second half of the season.
After they decided.
All right, you seen her standing in the end zone with the vertical stripes. Jake Trotter tweeted this picture out. Now, this is a big deal in Cleveland.
What's it supposed to be? Vertical or horizontal?
It's supposed to be horizontal.
Okay. That's what it was the rest of the year.
Now we're going back to vertical stripes. And everybody in Cleveland's all excited. So
is it better or
it's better?
Mark Sessler, I do the podcast with, has been talking about the bad vibes all season with the horizontal stripe. The vertical, it lets you into the end zone. The horizontal stops you.
You know, our producer Matt Tan just had the funniest thing to say here. Perfect. He said it's more slimming.
There you go. That's perfect.
Great.
All right, so Battle of Lake Erie. Buffalo heads to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Buffalo is 6-2. Cleveland is 2-6. What are we watching for in this matchup, Cynthia?
Well, who's going to Cedar Point is really the question in this matchup.
Duh.
I want to see Baker. We've seen some interesting Baker stats, especially from a clean pocket. We talked about it on Thursday. He has not been good from a clean pocket. He's faced the most attempts of second and third and 15 plus. And by the way, his receivers aren't getting separation. There's a lot of penalties. There's kind of a lot going on with this offense that, given the skill level that they have, is confounding, right? So you're like, what am I looking at here? So I want to see if Baker can get right in this situation. There's been a lot of pressure, a lot of talk. We're week 10, a lot of chirping. I want to see what Baker does.
Well, the problem with Baker is you've seen him be indecisive at times where he has open guys or he has his first read and he doesn't make that throw, which is the opposite of what you think about what made Baker Mayfield special a year ago. Maybe the return of Kareem Hunt makes a difference in this game, Hawk? Do you think that he helps the offense?
I think he does help the offense, but it comes down to the play calling. What Kareem Hunt does for the offense is you have a legit passing and rushing threat. Not to say Nick Chubb isn't great in the passing game, he is, but Kareem Hunt is a matchup problem because he has wiggle, because he's elusive, because he can run routes similar to a slot receiver. So when he's in there, it catches the defense off guard.
And this is even more important in this game considering their tight ends are really banged up. So that slot usage and that uses as a pass catcher will really help. Because not having David Njoku, not having these normal tight ends that you have in these sets, just makes it more difficult to execute any sort of offense.
Absolutely. He's a mismatch problem, but it will come down to the play calling. All right, let's get to picks here. Browns are favored by 3. Cynthia, we'll start with you. What do you got?
So I have the Browns winning, but only by 1. 21-20 in this matchup, closer than expected. I think this one comes down to turnovers and maybe not turnovers for, I think, fewer for Baker. I think with Josh Allen, we see be a little bit more risky, especially as of late. So for me, we'll see what happens with the turnovers.
I'm actually going with the Bills, and I hope I'm wrong. I've been wrong on the Browns the last couple of weeks.
They're in your head.
They're in my heart. They're just
You're going there Thursday.
They camped out inside of me, right? So I'm picking the Bills.
You're going there Thursday.
If Josh Allen doesn't turn the ball over, the Bills typically have a pretty good chance to win.
If the Bills win, can you get a chevron pattern in the end zone? Just something different? You're going to have to change it up, right? Superstition-wise.
I know. Maybe checkers. I have the Bills winning by 1. I had the Browns by 1 earlier in the week. I'm flip-flopping it. Partly because I saw Baker Mayfield. He still has the mustache. He's only shaved once in the last week. That's a red flag. He did it 3 times at the stadium a week ago. And I just feel like they find a way to lose close games to decent teams. And the Bills, even though they're not great, they find a way to win close games against bad teams. And that's what the Browns are.
You are a resident facial hair expert here. So.
You are.
Really.
I'm joining the club here soon. All right, next we are on to Pittsburgh, where they host the Los Angeles Rams. Steelers won a close one last week versus the Colts. They are favored. The Rams are favored in this one by 3.5. Cynthia, let's get right to picks. What do you got?
Closer than expected. I have 24-21 in favor of the Rams. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers defense gets to Jared Goff in this offense. Their O-line has been dicey, and I think that the pressure the Steelers can bring is a big deal.
I like that. I got the Rams winning as well, and I think specifically Aaron Donald has a huge day in front of his hometown. I'm going 2+ sacks for AD in this one. Yeah, call it.
I'm fascinated to see what Sean McVay does coming out of a bye. I think this team can be a lot better down the stretch. I think they win this game by a touchdown because their defense just, to me, isn't going to give up more than 13, 17 points against a Mason Rudolph-led Steelers team.
Okay, so I'm going down to the NFC South. I'm going to go to NOLA here, and I'm going to see the Falcons, who are in a precarious position. They're actually facing the Saints, who are not so in a precarious position. 13 points is the number here that the Saints are favored by. Greg, what do you have?
If ever the Falcons are going to show up and show some pride, I think today's the day, and I think they do it on offense, where if nothing else, they keep it closer than 13 points, that they keep it below that, because I think Matt Ryan is playing really well this year and has been underrated nationally, where I don't see him ranked in the top 10 quarterbacks. He's pretty good. Look at that.
Playing air guitar.
I can't do that.
Woo, woo. What do you have?
I got the Saints winning. I got them winning by a big margin.
2 Matts.
I got 34-13 Saints. And the reason why it's hard for me to get a feel for Matt Ryan is because they've been so bad the last couple of years, and they've get in those situations where they have to throw it all over the field late in games. So the numbers are a bit inflated. I think the Saints handle the Falcons today, and it gets ugly.
So I have closer than expected. I have 30-21 in this one. No Matt Ryan versus Virginia Tech when he was at BC. If you remember that miraculous game, 21 points at the very end of that one. Not happening today. I think the Saints are 9-point comfortable wins, but divisional matchups, especially with potential jobs on the line, I think the Falcons keep it closer.
Another NFC South team, the Bucs, have a home game today against the Cardinals. 4.5-point favorites for Tampa. A lot of respect for the Bucs. What do you say, Cynthia?
I have a 2-point win in this one. I have Tampa Bay 26, America's favorite number, and the Arizona Cardinals 24 in this matchup. Look, this is the one. Last week I told you I thought the Jets could lose, my gut. This is the one where my gut's the Cardinals could actually come. My gut, the math says 2. My stomach says I think Kyler Murray might win this one, and I think that it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, I agree. This is a toss-up to me. I think when Jameis Winston plays really well, he's a really good quarterback, and he's played a couple of games like that.
The decision tree.
Two in
If
a row,
good, then
two in a
good.
row.
Yeah.
If not good,
then not good. Yeah,
Right.
it's the turnovers though. He does like 2 bonehead plays where he turns the ball over or drops it, and that's usually the deciding factor. I think he has another game where he doesn't do that, so I'm picking the Bucks.
Bonehead, underrated word.
Yes.
Very underrated.
Also bozo.
Nail it.
I like the Bucks by a touchdown because I think the Cardinals are a running team and they're playing the best run defense in the league in Tampa, and I don't know if they can move the ball through the air enough to keep this game close.
All right, next we're going to the Big Apple. The battle for the Kings of New York. We got the Giants facing the Jets. Giants are favored by 2.5 in this one. Cynthia, what do you got?
I have 1-point win for the Giants, 24-23.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is like one of those games where it could, like, it's a home team. It's a home game for both teams. Technically, the Jets are home, but ultimately this one could go either way. If you see you could see some great Daniel Jones. You could see some bad Daniel Jones. You could see some great Sam Darnold. Maybe not. You could see some bad Sam Darnold. Right there. There's too many. This is a very close game. It's last possession wins for me.
Yeah, I'm going with the Giants too. I think they're a more talented football team. Bunch of a young nucleus that are playing hard, playing tough. The Jets are too up and down, and I just can't trust myself picking them after last week.
The Jets are the worst team in the NFL. I mean, you lose to the
Yeah.
Dolphins.
No, the Bengals are the worst team
That's
in the
the breaks.
NFL.
I don't care. I'm picking the Jets are the worst. Number 32 in the power rankings in my mind. Giants win this game. It's sad for New York football right now.
All right, well, let's go to Lambeau Field, where the Carolina Panthers and Christian McCaffrey are coming to town. Kyle Allen getting the start, of course, because Cam's on IR. In this one, for me, I have kind of a convincing number in favor of the home team. I know we saw them come out to Los Angeles and not look like the Packers that we're used to, but I have 27-21 in this matchup. Aaron Rodgers just looks great, although Christian McCaffrey has a big day.
I want to see what the Packers defense does. Mike Pettin has not been coming up with solutions lately. 31st in the league in yards per play allowed since week 4, and now you got to play Christian McCaffrey. And Kyle Allen, they took the training wheels off. He played pretty well a week ago, so I think it's close. The Packers win by 2.
Yeah, I'm going with the Packers as well. I think they have a bounce-back game after last week. LaFleur, Rodgers were clicking. Last week, not so much. So I think they knuckle down and get the victory.
I think it's mostly because there's nothing to celebrate for Kyle Allen. That's why they don't win, right? Like, he doesn't have a connection to Lambeau. He needs to be his college home, his mom's brothers, sisters, whatever. Like, there's nothing to celebrate there.
So we got the primetime God smiling upon us
Yes,
this week.
finally.
Sunday night, Kid Cuzzy in the house against the Cowboys in the house of Jerry Bill. I love this matchup. What does the model say?
Model says, it's a close one. It's going to be fun to watch. America's 2 favorite numbers. The winner gets 26. The loser gets 22. Those are the best numbers in football. And the winner are the Cowboys.
Yeah, I like the Cowboys too. I think they're starting to gel as a football team. And, once everyone had them high on their list, they had a little dip. People haven't been talking about them as much, and they've actually built a really good nucleus of a team with the addition of Michael Bennett.
And people haven't been talking about the offensive line in Dallas. It used to have the reputation as the line. I think it's getting back to that form right now, and they can win their matchup and score enough to keep Kid Cuzzy on the side.
Yeah.
Come on, Kid Cuzzy. Make me look good. All right, let's take a look at some more of our game picks here.
You picked the Cowboys, though.
I know. I don't trust them anymore. All right, we got 49ers.
Oh, look, we all agree.
I actually picked the Seahawks.
Oh, you
in
did?
that matchup.
Look
So,
at
Well,
you.
in fairness, we're going to have to tweet out tomorrow, because if George Kittle's not playing and Robbie Gould's not playing, that will shift.
They're both doubtful.
They're both doubtful.
Come on
so
over to the
that
dark
will
side.
shift. That will shift what the model says. And by the way, Deebo Samuel is going to score a touchdown.
all right. Well, there goes our guy, Alvin Kamara, getting warmed up. Got the nose bar in. I'm going to put mine in for the next break. All
Do
right?
it.
All right, let's do it. All right, we'll have that and more on Game Day View after the break. All right, there he is, Patrick Mahomes, warming up. No limp, arm looking prolific as usual. What do you guys think?
I
The
think
NFL's just better with him back.
I think he's
agree.
going to throw for like 500 yards today.
Just make a statement.
I think it's just, I mean, there's no, they're missing Malcolm Butler on the other side.
Only he
That's
could
a
make
big
me
deal.
watch the Titans in the morning.
Ready for more or less, guys?
Let's do it.
All right, so we're going to tell you if it's going to be more total points or less total points in all of these games. We're going to keep it back in Soldier Field. 38 is the number. Now, when you lose a starting quarterback, of course that number's going to seem low, right? And you would imagine Matthew Stafford scoring all those points, that is going to keep it really low. But my model has 24-21, which adds up to 44. So I have more.
Yeah, I'm going to go less.
Really? 38, that number is just, it's so ridiculously low that I can't
but-
abide.
I don't know about these offenses scoring a lot of points.
Ting.
Here
All
we
right,
go.
next up, we're going to go back to Lambeau. Carolina Panthers in this one. The number set at 47. So
Ooh.
greater or less than 47 total points for both of these offenses.
I'm off the screen.
You're
here.
off the screen?
I'm going to the
This world.
60s. Forget it.
I have 27-21, which adds up to 48.
Yep, I like that.
I
like it going
pretty
up to
strong.
47.
The
All of these are
reputation
pretty-
needs to catch up to the numbers here. These are offensive teams.
Reputation.
I'm just
Look at
saying that
you.
number. Look at that number.
The
set.
reputation needs to catch up with the numbers. I love it. That's great. All right, we got one more for you. We've got the Rams and Pittsburgh. Will the number be more or less than 44 total points?
More.
You know, we're just rays of sunshine here. Oh, not Greg.
Sorry.
Oh,
Not
wow.
Greg. I have
I'm always a
24-21.
black
That
cloud.
adds up to 45.
Golly.
Why don't you think so? Because you don't like Mason Rudolph?
Essentially, yeah. I
Do you
think
not
the-
like Jared
I
Goff,
think the-
too?
I think the Rams are a top 7 or 8 defense right now, and against this team without James Conner, like they could score 10 points, and then it's tough. It's
Yeah.
tough to get over.
I'm going to go with more. We got to start getting our record for this. Are we ever right?
More.
All right, let's go to some
Oh, we
tweets.
know. Oh, we know.
We know.
We know.
We got some
Tweet
tweets
time.
for Cynthia since she knows everything. Please help. Cole Beasley, Hollywood Brown, Darius Slayton, or Sammy Watkins. Pick one to start.
Well, I need to absolutely double check if Hollywood Brown's playing, but if it is, it's him. If it's not, it's Sammy Watkins.
Here you go. All right, what do we got next? All right, what defense is better to start this week? The Cowboys or the Browns?
I'm going with, I actually think the Browns in this one. You remember how defenses score points. It's like sacks and
Yep.
sort of, it's not necessarily who wins the game, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
if you think it's a closer win.
I can't imagine Kirk Cousins having turnovers. in
Exactly.
primetime.
We're on
Oh,
the same
no.
page. Galladay matchup versus the Bears, and now Stafford out would be better. What would be the better play, John Brown or Calvin Ridley?
John Brown would be a better play because
John Brown.
I know.
All right,
I
well,
know.
now it's time to spice things up, presented by Hardee's. Try the Southwest Patty Melt for a
Woo!
limited time and only
Got mine to
at
go here.
Hardee's. Yeah, we keep it on deck.
Yeah.
All right, Cynthia, we'll start with you. What is your bold prediction for this week?
Well, I told you the Bruce Arians Bowl that there's going to be a lot of points scored by both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that nets out in both Jameis Winston and Kyler Murray ending up in the top 5 amongst fantasy quarterbacks this week. I think, you know, maybe there's a Patrick Mahomes ahead of them or maybe a Lamar Jackson. But other than that, these guys are quarterbacks 3 and 4. And then
Wow.
guys like Matthew Stafford, obviously not playing, but like
Right.
even before when he was projected, he wasn't in it. So for me, that was a big shift. Matt
All right.
Ryan, not in the top 10.
That's spicy.
That's
what do you
spicy.
got for me, G?
I got a little spice and a little bit of salt for everyone out there in Seattle.
Oh,
I'd
wow.
say the Seahawks
Ooh.
are not going to make the playoffs this year, even though they're at 7-2. If you look at their schedule the rest of the way, the 49ers 2 times. They have to go face the Rams on the road. They have the Panthers, the Vikings, and it's an unbalanced team. It's a Pete Carroll team with a terrible defense. I don't get it.
Wow, that is spicy.
You don't think he can fix it?
No, hasn't happened.
Do you think 2 teams
It's got
come from
10
the West?
Yes, the Rams and the 49ers.
Oh, I don't know if I like
I was
that
about
one.
to say.
All right, I was getting spicy.
Like in the Cardinals?
My original spicy take was that the Baltimore Ravens would shut out the Bengals, and it wasn't spicy enough. So I
Ooh.
switched it up. Now I'm going Lamar Jackson will break the quarterback rushing record this week
In a shutout.
in a shutout. I'm doubling up. Double spice for you. That's right. Lamar Jackson will kill the Bengals on the ground this week. He rushed for, I think, 153 versus them the last time
did.
they played in Week 6. The record is held by Michael Vick, 2002. He rushed for 173 yards. Lamar Jackson breaks it today.
You're just doing it like Hardy's. All the spice,
Ooh.
all the best.
spice,
Just give me all the best
all
here.
the nice.
He's gonna break the single season record too.
That needs to be rephrased.
All right, that was Spice Things Up presented by Hardee's. That does it for us here on Game Day View.
Gotta go. We
Make
gotta
sure
go.
you check us
We
out
got things
every
to do.
Thursday, every Sunday, right here on NFL.com. Peace.